Director here at Southern Arkansas, and of course Coach Keppel's going to be at the mic here in just a second, but we do want to tell you about a few things that you saw on your way in. A couple of specific things. We have information on the Mulerider Club, and we're going to have some new information on that coming up in a couple of weeks, but go ahead and grab a brochure. You can kind of see what that's all about. Another big thing is muleridergear.com. If you need your Mulerider gear, that's the place to go to shop for that. And admission basics, anything like that out front, there's a lot of information for you as well. And so we definitely want you to be involved in that. We want to thank Jack and Brian Doherty for the opportunity to be here at the Convention Center, beautiful place, and we thank you for being here as well. And another thing that we want to just say that I'm going to brag on Coach Keppel for a second so he doesn't have to do all the work, okay, Coach? Before Coach Keppel arrived, you ought to know that he produced more wins last season with his 8 wins than we had in the 3 seasons prior to his arrival. He's really turned this program around. I know he wants to speak to that a little bit because he's got a senior team coming in and he's ready to rock and roll. It's all about Tyler Sikora and Mark Johnson. And of course, the defense that went from 126th in the nation a year ago to 6th last year. A major jump. So Coach Keppel, go ahead and take the podium and tell them the rest that you had to say.
I appreciate y'all coming today. I really do. I mean, we were talking with Josh about doing some things like this around South Arkansas to kind of get the word out to people about what's going on in Southern Arkansas. That's what this is about, and get a chance to come out and meet some people and just rub elbows and let's talk Southern Arkansas football. You know, I mean, when you're in the state of Arkansas and you go out to functions, all people want to talk about are the Razorbacks, and there's more here than the Razorbacks in the state of Arkansas. And right now I'm very excited about our football team. I'm excited about being where we're at and where we've come from. We've come a long way in our 4 years in Magnolia, I feel like, and I'm not here to brag on myself. I'm here to talk about our program. I tell you, we've come from our first year at Southern Arkansas being a team that was offensively, we were probably 165th in the country out of 169. And right now we go to the number 6 offense in the country. And that's a big step. And we really feel like we've made some huge strides in the kind of young men that we have in our program, which is evident with some of them here today. And I want to mention these guys here today. Hayden Bisky, you go to stand up. You're a senior linebacker of ours right here from Pleasant Grove. And John Miller over there. Stand up, John. Our starting offensive left guard from D20 Arkansas, just right up the road. And Calvin Lyons, where you at, Calvin? There you are. Calvin was a redshirt freshman for us last year. We're expecting huge things out of Calvin. I hope he knows that. We've told him enough times. A young man that played at Liberty Ilo here in town in Texarkana. Had a really good career over at Liberty Ilo. We signed him last year. He walked in the door at the same height. What are you, 6'3", Calvin?
Yes, sir.
Say about 6'3". Walked in the door at 245 right now. What do you weigh? 280 pounds. So we put on a little weight, and it all looks good to me. I don't know about y'all, but it looks real good to me as a coach. We're expecting him to be a great player. Our football team is going to report the 14th of August. We have a big year in front of us. We open in Grant, Oklahoma, the 5th of September on the Thursday night, which is a little unusual. They wanted to play the game on the Thursday night over there, so we obliged them with that. A game that we want to get ourselves kicked off the right way. We come back to Magnolia for a couple of home games, go back on the road to Northwest Oklahoma, and then we come back to Magnolia game 5. And the CBS cameras are coming to Magnolia for a nationally televised game, which is almost unheard of at the Division II level. So that's going to be a real big honor for us. And we want our Mulerider fans to really know about that. Come to Magnolia. I don't want you to sit at home and watch it on TV. We'll let our fans from way off watch it. We need to fill that stadium up and really send a message out to the country, because there will be a lot of people watching, I can tell you that, from all over. I mean, right now we're getting a response to our program and what's going on from all over the country. It's amazing to me the emails and the phone calls I get and where they're from. I got off the phone to today with an offensive lineman this morning, at 8 o'clock this morning from Virginia. We signed a defensive back last year from New Jersey. I got a D-back on the hook that we've signed out of Florida, one out of California. How's that happening? Because they're hearing about what's going on here. They're hearing about, and they do their research. And the good news for us, our website is up to date. It's doing really good, and it's helping our program. Daniel, our SID here, is doing a great job with it. We've got a lot of new fresh faces in our athletic program there at Southern Arkansas. Really surprising to me now that I'm the oldest tenured head coach at Southern Arkansas. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we got some fresh faces, some guys with great ideas that are doing things the right way, and other programs that really exciting about SAU athletics. And the guys we brought into the administration part of it, I'm really encouraged with our football program and our overall athletic program. I don't want to bore you here and talk a whole lot about insignificant things, but we're just excited about what's going on. I got some guys back here in blue shirts. I'd like to mention a few names to you. Coach Upshaw. Step up, Coach Upshaw. That is our defensive line coach. Coach Upshaw is a former Mulerider. Played for the Muleriders. Was a graduate assistant for us. Left after my second year and went to Fort Scott. Then we had the privilege of being able to hire him back, and after I think a semester at Fort Scott, and when we offered him the job, I don't think he could get back to Magnolia fast enough, but a guy that's been around Magnolia a long time, that does a great job for us. He's originally from Louisiana. He's going to be a guy that's going to be hard for me to hang on to as a coach on our staff, because he is going to be a very attractive guy to move up the ladder in the coaching profession. We got Coach Lawson back there pacing around. Coach Lawson has been with me the whole time. He has seen the bad and seen the good. And a guy that I'm very honored to have on my staff. He's my defensive coordinator. He's originally from Alabama. If you talk to him, you'll figure that out pretty quick. We still have a hard time understanding him at times with that Alabama lingo. You can tell with his swoop he's got going on there for his vacation. But a guy that does a great job. Hayden can vouch for that he's going to stay on you on a daily basis. Really did wonders with our defense last year, and the way we moved up the ladder in the top 10 category of several categories last year. Coach Lawson, and brought a new, I guess I call him a young guy, even though he's really not, onto our staff this spring. It's going to be his first season with us, but not his first season as a Mulerider coach. And that's Tony Gilbert. Came to us by way of Louisiana Monroe. Been at Arkansas State, been at UCA, been at Southern Arkansas back in the 90s, and he's back. Couldn't stay away. And he's going to be our DBA coach, special team coordinator, and recruiting coordinator. So he's got a lot of titles. We're excited about having Tony back. I lost my defensive back coach right before spring football this year. Got a job offer as a defensive coordinator at Simon Frazier. Coach Cozy left, and I got a call probably not a week after that happened by Coach Roberts. And y'all know Coach Roberts and his time at Southern Arkansas, and he was calling to talk about Tony. I had nothing but great things to say about him. I already knew a lot about him, whether he knew it or not, and I thought he was a perfect fit. I know this, everywhere he's coached and everybody that's talked about Coach Gilbert is the players love him, and he is a great recruiter, and those are two good qualities to have as a football coach. And we're glad to have him on our staff. And our newest addition back there is Coach Paul Streaker, our offensive line coach. He came on board, in June? Came on board in June. He hadn't really even officially got moved in yet. I think he's bunking with Coach Lawson right now, and hasn't even got his wife here. He's from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. He was offensive coordinator at Fort Walton Beach High School, but prior to that, he played at Valdosta. You have a national championship ring, and you need to be showing that off, and because that's what we want. Was a graduate assistant at Valdosta State in Georgia. Then he went to UAB and was a graduate assistant there for 2 years? 2 years, worked under some really good coaches there, and then he got hired by his former high school head coach in Fort Walton Beach as the offensive coordinator, which told me a lot about him, because I mean, to hire a guy you coached back at a high school and put him in that position as the offensive coordinator right out of the chute speaks volumes to me about him. I know he came in and we talked a lot of football, and the guy's very impressive. He knows his stuff, and I think our offensive linemen are going to love being around him. I know he's working hard at it already. As I told John, we've been studying you this week, John, on film, and you and all the rest of them. So he already knows right now. He can probably sit you down over here and talk about where we need to be, what we need to be working on right now. But that's our coaching staff right there. Coach Keppel right here. The other Coach Keppel, we call him Coach Kep, so we can distinguish between the two, is our offensive stand-up. He's our offensive coordinator. We've known each other for a long time. You know, a guy that, you know, he's followed me around for quite a few years, and he's turned into a heck of a coach. I mean, you can look at what he's done with Tyler Secor, and I know Tyler had a lot of tools, being 6'6" with a big arm, but coming from Jessieville, he knew nothing about football, and Tyler will be the first to tell you about that, what he's done with Tyler and where Tyler has gone with his game, setting 15 school records as our quarterback, and him taking over the offense and the play calling duties from me when we were about 165th in the country to now he's got us at number 5 in the country offensively. That's a big step, and all these guys, I really feel like our coaching staff is stacked. Like I feel like our football team is to a certain degree. We're still working on it. We're still recruiting. We've had 3 recruits on campus this week. All 3 of them looks like they're going to come and play for Southern Arkansas. They're guys we want in our program. So, and that's an ongoing process. There's 2 other, actually 3 other that I got to introduce to y'all that y'all need to know about. The true head coach of Southern Arkansas University, or at least she thinks she is, Coach Marcia Keppel right there. That's my sweet beautiful wife. That probably has had to sacrifice more than anybody on my staff. And the fact that, you know, I still have a house here in Texarkana, and it's not by want to, it's by just the way things have gone, because she has a job here. She feels like I need to let her quit. I haven't let her quit yet, and I'm keeping her working, but she has a job she loves at Arkansas High School, and that's why we're in this predicament. So she spends a lot of nights without anybody at the house, and I'm hoping I can get that taken care of real quick and get that changed. But I want you to meet my daughter-in-law right here, Miss Dana. Stand up, Dana. That's the other Dana Keppel, and you can see she is with child. I have a grandson on the way that's going to be here in December. I'm excited about. My daughter not here tonight. She lives in Longview, and I got a granddaughter on the way in September, so I'm going to have a bunch of new grandbabies. But there is a number 1 right there. That's Kinsley Keppel, and she runs the show at the Keppel House right now. But that's my family. That's my staff. Our football team I'm so proud of. I'm so proud of the young men we have in our program and the caliber of young men we have. I tell people on a daily basis when I talk to recruits in, I talk to parents in. Like I said, I had 2 sets of parents in this morning. We're not all a bunch of angels, but I got really good young men. I got young men that are going to be successful in life, that are doing things the right way, that are taking care of business in school. Doesn't mean they're not going to make a bad decision here or there, but we all do that. I've made my share of those, and hopefully I don't make many this season. But our football team, you know, we are very fortunate in where we're at. We really feel like we turned the corner this last year with 8 wins. I'm expecting more this year. Our players know that. It's not going to come easy. We know that. But the talent, I feel like, is in place. We're very fortunate. We have our starting quarterback back. In Tyler Secor, we have a starting running back and Mark Johnson, that's a 2-time all-conference, all-GAC player, Gulf South newcomer of the year. He needs 183 yards, John, to be the all-time leading rusher in Southern Arkansas in the history of the school, which speaks volumes for that happening in our offense, considering we throw the ball quite a bit. I mean, we averaged over 300 yards a game. Throwing last year, we were 497 yards in total offensive game last year. I know back when I was the offensive coordinator back in my Central Arkansas days, that was unheard of. The game has changed a lot, and we're trying to stay up abreast of all the new stuff that's out there. But We have a nice running back core. I'm not going to get into all of them. K-Ron Desmuke is back. A.J. Jones is back. We picked up one this summer. I can't mention now, but a guy that's out of Jacksonville, Florida, that's going to be a nice addition to our program. We had a great recruiting year last year. We spent a lot of time in Arkansas. We offered 16 guys out of the state of Arkansas last year. We got 9 of them. That is good. If you've done your math on that, never done any research on it, that's very good. Recruiting the state of Arkansas is very difficult for us because you know, a lot of them have to pass other schools to come to us. But we're going to get out there. We're going to make them battle hard in Arkansas because we feel like we're going to own East Texas. And recruiting Division II athletes. And right now we got a lot of coaches down in East Texas that are sending players to us if they're not a D1 player. And that speaks volumes for what my coaching staff's doing out on the road, the relationships they've built with coaches. And we've got probably what I feel like maybe the best overall class coming in this year that we've ever had. And we've had some good ones. We've had 3 in a row back to back. I feel like as good as anybody in our league. And you know, I'm a little bit partial as you look at on paper to our opponents in our league. I don't think it was close this year. We know we've got some big games in front of us. Always homecoming is going to be big. It's going to be Ouachita this year. We had to move that from the Hardy game because the TV game is going to be on a Thursday night. Then we're expecting a big game late in the year. If we can take care of business on our end in Arkadelphia. And hopefully you people will want to get on board with it and really come and support this football team. I think we've got a product on the field of young men that are doing things the right way, taking care of business in school, conducting themselves the right way, and what they can do on the field as athletes. It's a pretty good product to come watch. It really is. I left last year after our Henderson game there. Louis, I don't know if Louis is still here, but after that game was over, I don't think I'd seen a better college football game in a long time. There was a lot of talent on the field, a lot of positives on both sides of the ball. We were this close to getting a W there. We want to get over that hurdle this year. I'm excited about it. I hope you're excited about it. I want you to get excited about it. And I'm going to turn this thing back over to Josh. And I appreciate y'all coming out tonight and listening to what I have to say about Southern Arkansas football. Thank you very much.